Hey, Max here with Voltaire. This is not the mic drop. This is a pre-recorded vid talking about CinemaCon and the Warner Brothers showing, and then talking about where Warner Brothers is right now for Superman promotion and where Marvel is in the reception. And I have proof from a big gun nut. And if you are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell for all the entertainment news. I'm talking about movies, video games, music, whatever I could come across. Now, a lot of people, because there are gun nuts out there, I'm friends with a lot of them. Actually, there's more gun nuts than Snyder Bros on my channel in the chat. Voltaire, can you attest to that? Can you be my witness?
It seems like the gun nuts have
the gun nuts have won. The gun nuts have taken over my channel, and they cannot coexist on one channel either. Or
no,
our Snyder Bro channel or Gun Nut channel. I tried to do both. I think the Snyder Bros mainly abandoned me because of the Gun Nut chaos in my chat and on the panel. But I have to say, and I'm not being hyperbolic here, and I'm not going full Sean O'Rourke. Shout out to Sean. I actually thought about messaging Sean on this topic too. The Warner Brothers, and I know the gun nuts are going to say do you ever feel about this, Voltaire, when you're movie talk, that the excuses just flow because they're like, well, what is CinemaCon? It's nothing special. It's not for the general audiences. It's not. But I keep hearing, let's wait for the big push for Superman. And I got to say, how many months were we away? Like 3 months?
Yeah.
They need to get cooking soon. And it's not looking good. And I have proof. I don't want to call out one of the biggest gun nuts that we know. Well, first off, this is how it's going. This is what I'm going to use as the thumbnail. Does this look like a lot of hype for you?
Who's the gentleman in the suit?
I don't know, and I don't care. And I think it's embarrassing. I think that's embarrassing.
All right.
Now the best part,
bring a real dog. I don't get it.
No. That's someone that's just at CinemaCon.
I think this is,
okay. I will say this: the whole cast looks extremely sexy and fire. Like they all look great. Corn Sweat looks better here than he does in the movie. I'm sorry.
All right.
No, I mean he's more, with a little gristle, and I don't know. He just looks.
We do not shy away from rating the Hollywood hunks, everybody.
Yeah. Nicholas Hoult looks great, and Rachel Brosnahan, forget about it. Oh man, she is one of the most beautiful Lois actresses of all time, and I think she's going to be one of the greatest actresses as Lois too. I think she's going to be the GOAT Lois. Besides, who's Margot Kidder, unfortunately passed.
Sure.
Yeah, and also rest in peace to Val Kilmer. We just found out right when recording. Unfortunately, Val has passed. A lot of Val Kilmer fans on the channel, and I know me and Voltaire are for sure.
Go watch Heat. Go watch.
Oh yeah, Heat. Yeah. My favorites are Batman Forever, Tombstone, and Doors. I love that.
Doors is an amazing film.
Yeah. So here is RJ on X. And this is probably, I think if you search, it's Star Wars. If you search your feelings, it to be true. A lot. I know if we were on a panel right now, I would not be able to handle the cope about, it's not the marketing machine isn't intact yet. It feels like we are just sliding by event where there could be extra promotion for DC and it's just not there. Some of it may be financial reasons. Some of it may be James Gunn's too busy. But I'm really feeling like after the original trailer, the hype is subsiding a little bit. It's nowhere near for a comparison. Let's see what RJ says, Voltaire. But for comparison, look how much hype Marvel got just for chairs.
Right. The juggernaut that is good Marvel is,
and that's a movie that's filming now. That's starting to film. That all they show was a chair and Robert Downey Jr. And I do not feel that for DC right now. Now I'm going to see Superman probably opening day, you know,
It's worth that.
but I am not feeling it. And this is one of the biggest gun nuts on X right now. We know him personally. He's been on the mic drop. Yeah, that was underwhelming from a fan perspective, not just for DC, just in general. Come on, Warner Brothers. Yeah, Zaslav, he's done a few things right, but I believe he fired Pam Abdi and Mike DeLuca before CinemaCon, and then they're on stage for something else at CinemaCon. That's also embarrassing. And then they're just, besides the actors looking beautiful, like looking really well, looking fresh on stage. Besides that, and like a little bit extra footage, they confirmed, spoiler warning, that there's a flying dog, so Crypto flies in the movie. In pocket universes, I guess, I mean, that's the only other thing. But here's what else he says. Even if they didn't publicly release footage from Superman today, no Mortal Kombat 2 trailer, no talk about Supergirl, Clayface, Sergeant Rock. Luca was there yesterday to talk about Sergeant Rock, the director. So he's underwhelmed. Should we see what people responded?
Sure.
Because if you follow RJ, you're probably a gun nut and not a Snyder bro. Let's see what the gun nuts are saying here. Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't show any concept art for Clayface, Sergeant Rock. I don't know how far into filming they are Supergirl, but I'm surprised they didn't show a small teaser for it. Like just a picture. He's going all in for Superman being talking point, and I get that. This is not SDCC. I don't know what you expected. That's what you get. That's what you get. I can see that a mile away. Maybe next year it will be a big one. I mean, we're 3 months away. We should have something a little bit there. Luca was here for Lionsgate. He said he's coming back later. Okay. DC cooked. All right. I mean, then you get images like this. Let me bring this up here. And this is embarrassing. This, to me, this is the main thing that's going to be shown for Superman and San Diego.
This is not an official photo.
No, it's not. But there's nothing to talk about. There's not anything new to talk about except Crypto flies, a few extra footage, and how great the cast looks.
Okay, so for the people who don't know, explain what CinemaCon's purpose is.
It's to sell the current. It's to further relationships between Hollywood, the distributors, and the theaters.
And
to promote their upcoming things, to say your theater's got to carry our movies through our distributors. The movie industry is still thriving. Warner Brothers, for devil's advocate for those people in there, what do you expect for San Diego Comic-Con? This isn't San Diego Comic-Con, but you should be really wowing the theater owners, too.
So,
I mean, because you're also competing with Disney and Sony and other stuff, to say you should carry our products. We should get the main screens at your theater because Superman's an IMAX,
Okay, so just to play devil's advocate, because some people, Max, I don't know if you know this, accuse you of putting on videos by yourself without panels because you don't want pushback.
No, no,
I know that's not true.
It's refreshing to do pre-record videos sometimes. Get on with your day, lay your opinion.
Right. I'm just saying. So CinemaCon is really an industry thing for the theaters, right? That's the.
But it's supposed to still, like, people are like, you can't judge things based. All these weird ass arguments from movie talk viewers. You can't judge things based on it. This is supposed to be even though it's not directly for the audience, this is supposed to wow the cinema aspect of the industry and say, you know what? We need to be giving Warner Brothers top spots in our display areas in our theaters, in the best screens in our movie theaters. I don't see that with this presentation. There was Mortal Kombat. They didn't show the Mortal Kombat 2 trailer. They didn't show that.
Right.
Very little bit of. You should be wowing these CinemaCon because this was filmed in IMAX. You should be saying, we want you to lock down the IMAX spots at your theaters for Superman for long term, because the people fight over the IMAX screens in certain regions because there's not a lot of IMAX screens at certain theaters. Might be one,
Right. And what did they do a couple of
This
years ago?
is not going to lock down IMAX screenings with this hanging around a guy in a crypto costume.
Okay. All right. And to your point, what did they do a couple of years ago at CinemaCon to try to get some buzz? They played the entire Flash movie, didn't they?
I don't know if that was at Cinema. Maybe it was at CinemaCon.
I thought it was at CinemaCon that they played a sneak.
Maybe it was. Maybe I can't remember.
So they know that it can create some buzz. No, I'm 99%.
But at Warner Brothers, like what RJ said, no talk about Supergirl, Clayface, Sergeant Rock. They didn't even show an Mortal Kombat 2 trailer. They should be show. That's Warner Brothers as a whole wasn't very exciting. Their presentation was just underwhelming compared to, and this is on X. This is from Blu-ray Angel. Who do you think won CinemaCon, Marvel or DCU? Definitely not Marvel. If Sony is competing with you for just the Spider-Verse, that's pretty telling. They did Spider-Man Brand New Day exclusively in theaters, and then they also confirmed that the third and Into the Spider-Verse movie has a release date as well, which was not announced beforehand. There's at least there's something new and fresh there, at least,
That's a big deal announcing.
And they showed some images from Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, the third movie, which people, including myself, I'm happy to take an L on this. I thought it was really struggling production. I didn't think this was going to see the light of day for quite some time, but to see that they're deep in development was very good news for that project.
That is surprising.
And that is something new. So DC, how is DC going against Marvel and their chairs? It's not even close. Marvel and their chairs broke the internet. This ain't doing nothing. There's nothing new. They're basically just said, what do you want? What's different about your Superman? What makes you good about Superman? And Corn Switch is saying, James Gunn had me focus on my character in the gym and solitude. And then they said, what character would you be if you weren't the character you're playing in DC? And he said, Batman. And this goes back to the original reveal. You please tell me in the comment section, and you too, Voltaire, does this look, the tone of the way he's looking down, putting on the boots, it's more Batman than Superman. Because people made this based on his response. I'd be Batman.
Yeah,
it completely fits the Batman. But
it does. And this image didn't match what they released in the trailer. The trailer's
the trailer's
brighter and happy Superman, that kind of thing,
But it totally gets a Batman vibe.
Sure.
But it's just underwhelming, and I don't think that you're going to win any new screens for cinemas doing underwhelming performance. Now, if they showed Dune 3 or something that's not ready yet, then I'd understand, oh wow, not a lot there. And people are going to say it's unfair to compare Marvel and DC. No, it's not. It's not unfair. All they did was show a freaking chair. Do something exciting, James Gunn. You know that meme on the internet, poke him with a stick?
Yeah.
Do something. Do something. Is really the Puppy Bowl the last big thing? Because we're getting close here. We're coming down to the wire.
So to your point, that we're 3 months out from this film, which is not a lot of time at this point. They better start hyping it. Yeah.
Yes. They got to make it feel fresh and just not our Superman's hope. They're really literally doing that. And the Gun, they'll eat that shit up all day. They'll post memes of bright, cheery Superman next to heavily dark filtered Snyder stuff. Which I think is unfair because, whatever.
There's been a lot of that on Twitter.
No, but that's what you'll get. But why is my Superman? You are not going to sell this movie just saying our Superman's bright and happy. And in Cartoon Land, Super Friends. That's not enough to get people back to DC. It's something. It's not nothing.
It might. Sorry, again, devil's advocate. I think that might get people to start bringing their kids to these films. You know what I mean? Whereas I think the Snyderverse films weren't as kid friendly.
Sure, but not where they want to be, not anywhere competing with Marvel.
No, well, that's challenging.
I mean, is it that challenging? They did a chair and that got, if they would have brought, this is what I would have done. Maybe they couldn't because she's actually filming now. I would have brought Supergirl there and said, yeah, Superman's here and Supergirl's next year. Get your theaters ready, get your top IMAX screenings available. Do
Well, see,
something
now
like
that I agree with you. Bring her in.
Yeah.
They've got her cast.
Or Momoa. Momoa might not be. Momoa might not.
Be terrific. Yeah.
If they showed an image of Momoa in Lobo costume or test footage for Lobo, oh my, something.
I think if just Momoa and her showed up, that would have been a tremendous hype machine.
And they definitely should have shown something from Mortal Kombat 2 as well. Yeah, I mean, people say there's nothing to see here. DC is not in trouble. I do think there is a reason they're selling stuff now for a fraction of the price. And they did fire one of their marketing directors that was extremely successful for Barbie. And you could tell that they're suffering from it right now.
So anybody who says that DC is not on the precipice of something is blinding themselves or tricking themselves.
I don't want them to be.
Gun rollout. This is the first. I know he's had Creature Commandos and he was involved in stuff before that.
Or Peacemaker. Peacemaker season 2 is wrapped. Show some from Peacemaker.
Well, that's true. But this Superman movie is a huge deal.
Well, that's not cinemas. That's not cinemas, though. That's streaming.
But still, but the DC universe. This Superman movie is a big deal for them. It needs to be successful to kick off the Gunverse. So
they need to bring some hype because the hype was there during the first 2-minute trailer.
Yeah, for sure.
And then it's been a lull. It's been a lull. The Puppy Bowl, and I know shout out to Crazy Joe. He loves the Guy Gardner stuff. That didn't hit with the general public, I don't think. Oh, he's supposed to be annoying and cringe. Okay. I love Nathan Fillion. Nathan Fillion is an acquired taste, I think. I don't think he plays to the mass market. Not like Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt has got a certain type of humor that plays to the mass market. Nathan Fillion has had some success on cable television, but other than that, his other projects, I don't think he hits with the general audiences. I think the one time he would have hit is if they actually got him for Nathan Drake. I saw that short film. He was like perfect for that role, you know.
I also think that a James Gunn written Guy Gardner could be that character is perfect for James Gunn.
Mm-hmm.
Let's give him some credit, Max. You love his track record too. I mean, that's the type of character, and he needs those kinds of characters in his movies. I know this is not supposed to be a jokey movie, but there's certainly going to be some of that because it's a James Gunn movie. And I think that this Guy Gardner character is going to be the outlet for that.
All right. Well, let's wrap this up. I know we weren't in attendance. We're just going this on secondhand knowledge, which is a lot of people are going on that way because it's really industry insiders invited to this. Like John Campea goes, and I think they just sit in a hotel room. I don't understand that. Maybe they go during the event. You know who is there is Chris Gore, that hack. He's there. He hates on movies all day long, and he gets to go. Okay, I'm not hating on him. I'm
being honest.
He does hate on the industry all day. But
true.
Yeah, he's there.
Mm-hmm.
But let's give it a rating, just a letter grade. I'm going to be generous and say a C. There wasn't anything that you weren't expecting. The cast looked great. There's literally nothing there. And I, as far as I could say, people are going to say Max doesn't know what CinemaCon is. As far as I know, it's to strengthen the relationship between Hollywood, the distributors, and the theater portion of the industry, and say we are in business. This is our slate of products. We want top spot at your theaters, and we deserve it. Especially because Disney is a bully in the theater. They do all kinds of things. Do you know Disney does this?
I do.
If you don't have our like Snow White that's not making any money now. If you don't have that in the main, your best screening, you don't get it at all for like 3 weeks or something.
There you go. Yeah.
Warner Brothers can't pull that with this presentation. So I say a C. Voltaire, give your honest rating. And I know it's hard because you weren't there, but based on what we've heard,
but listen,
we would have heard of something else if it was really cool, you know.
The fact that Gunn showed up himself and brought the stars of the film, right? The 3 main stars of the film.
Gunn showed up himself and did presenting nothing.
He still showed up.
So what? Saffron's there
he got
too.
on a private jet.
Saffron's there. He's like a wet blanket. He's so boring. I don't know what he's. You know, he's a like Chubby Teddy says, Saffrod. Like I like Gunn. Gunn has a personality. Saffron is just a typical like. He rode that train. He rode that train for success with James Gunn. I don't think he deserves this where he's at right now, based on his output. I mean, he did okay. He did Shazam and stuff. Whatever.
All right. I mean,
so you're giving him points for showing up?
Yeah, I am. That's 80% of everything is showing up. So the major players showed up. That's
viewers, play along. Give us your rating in the comments section.
I'll personally give it at least a B minus. I have to say, just because they showed up.
See,
they brought I know it's just them jumping on a private jet and just showing up, but I still think it was worth it.
Okay, worth it for this. Let me show this image.
Oh, come on with this! You love this thumbnail.
You know, this is the only surprise from Warner Brothers at CinemaCon 2025.
She's wearing a dress that's like a newspaper.
She gets an A.
She has a lovely smile. Look at her.
Yeah. Corn Sweat and what's his name? Lex. They all get A's. 3 A's there. She looks amazing. If she could sell it just on herself and in that dress, we'd be in business. But
she looks like Lois, everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, the cast is good. Look, those 3 are good.
No, they're really, but they're still the majority. Nicholas Hoult, Rachel Brosnahan, and David Cornsweet. And to be fair, even though they are like the beautiful people, still not one of them is proven box office success yet.
No.
Rachel Brosnahan is a winner for her show Miss Maisel, which I've never seen on Amazon. David Cornsweet's been in some stuff he's widely respected, but and also Nicholas Hoult is respected in the industry, but he doesn't get a lot of box office success either. So none of them are really weathered.
No, but the casting is good. They look like who they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
But you're right. They're not by the.
And I think the breakout's gonna, if Lex is done right, that's what's gonna really pull in the tickets. But I am really underwhelmed by the lack of freshness now. It's starting to feel stale without anything new being announced or
So I know we're trying to wrap it up, but real quick, I think this is going to be a film where, you know how people always said, oh, these movies aren't doing good because of superhero fatigue, but then a good one would come out and it would do well. I don't think superhero fatigue is a real thing. I think it's good films, and I think this film is going to...
it has to feel fresh. It has to do something new. My wife said, I've seen this movie before. If you're just an slightly above average superhero movie, and it just does the same thing, build up a character, show the origin, fight a villain, and then end. It's boring to a lot of general audiences. I know me, Crazy Joe, and other people would love that stuff. Not the general audiences. That's what made the MCU success, in my opinion, is it had hooks. It had, it was building towards a big event. It had all the connective tissue to other things. I cannot stand the argument. It doesn't need to be connected. I'm like, why is TV shows a success? Why are soap operas a success?
No, that's nonsense.
It's because it keeps building, and you feel like you're missing out if you don't see something.
If Kevin Feige taught us anything, it was giving little, pearls of hints that these things are connected, and then eventually connecting them is
besides the quality issues, which I don't think it's the Marvel hasn't been horrendous. The other thing that's been lackluster is the end credit sequences don't see like they pay off or connect to anything anymore.
That's
the majority of them, like they don't feel like we're building up to. I still don't, it's still hard to tell. I know where we're going now because of the chair announcements, but it was hard to know where we're going or who the Avengers were anymore.
Right. Well, they didn't know.
Yeah. All right, but that's our wrap up of the Warner Brothers coverage at CinemaCon. From what I heard from Sony, I think Sony did a lot better, and I still have to, because of the Spider-Man announcements, they have a title for Spider-Man 4. It's going to be right in between the two Avengers movies, which is pretty freaking epic. That's the only other Marvel movie you're getting in between Doomsday and Secret Wars.
They better have some connection with it.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna. Yeah. And then also the Into the Spider-Verse third film, which is the trajectory for that. The sequel made a lot more than the first movie. It's going up. So that is good too. So that was a much better showing for me personally than DC. And I want DC to have, I guess Comic-Con is the only other big thing before release. Hold on, before we end, let me see when Comic-Con is this year. It's got to be in May, right?
No, it's not May, is it? I thought it was.
Or maybe that's after. What else could they do? Comic-Con. Oh, SDC.
July 24th.
Oh, it's after Superman.
So isn't there a DC event though before that? Or are they not doing that this year?
They're not doing Fandom anymore.
Oh, that's what I mean. Yeah, okay.
But Fandom became a joke because they didn't do everything in a Fandom. But that type of thing would be really cool right before. To be honest, Zack Snyder's The Blueprint and DC was, that's the one good thing that we had with the last iteration of Warner Brothers is they had fan events, and they should do something like that.
They're silly because they should at least do something with Gunn doing a presentation. At least put it on Max, something, that would be smart of them. It's interesting that they don't.
I don't know. I'm feeling no like overall hype. Just like, oh, Superman's going to save the day. And that's putting just more pressure on the film. Like just leaving it out to itself. Okay, let's see what happens. And then, people get mad at me or get bad at people. Like, what if Gunn underperforms of what their expectations are? Zaslav has no loyalty whatsoever. He will get rid of you if he's not happy. So, James isn't in I think his contract is only till, let me see James Gunn's contract. Sorry, I keep extending this. Not that long. Contract with DC. So if it really feels like they're putting all this pressure on it, see if it hits, and then if it doesn't, you'll get what you get, and that's it. Let me see here. 4-year contract, November 1st, 2022. It's effective November 1st, so that would be November 1st, 2026.
Uh-huh.
So he doesn't have that much time.
No.
This is it.
This movie's a big deal.
No, I don't like that they always put so much pressure on one movie. It's not fair. And that's the other issue I have with the industry. Like if you talk about Disney Plus and like the Acolyte didn't succeed, I like the Acolyte, but I think a lot of it is too the consumers don't have confidence. They feel like you're just throwing shit against the wall and seeing what sticks. You're not going like, it's very rare that you get a situation like Daredevil. It's airing now and they're actually filming the season 2 while you're watching. Right. That's exciting. You're not going to have this big gap,
by the way.
But it'll catch up, I think. I think the word of mouth, as long as it hits the finale, maybe has a really good cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Punisher comes in. But I'm saying I think lack of confidence is sent to the consumer too. You're like, you're just throwing stuff on these streamings and just see what hits, and you're not really giving these things a shot, promotion, or any confidence in these projects. You know, that's the other part of the industry, I think. But yeah, James doesn't have that much time to prove that he's got the sauce.
This needs to be a hit.
Yeah. I think now, to be fair, if James Gunn hits it out of the park and you get a really good box office showing, I got to find out tracking for this. I got to do my due diligence to find out tracking for a Friday show, tracking for Superman, what they're thinking. There's got to be tracking numbers out there. If he really hits out of the park, you need to have a contract extension announcement the weekend after opening weekend. If it's like, or maybe the second weekend or something. That's what I think, because that's what I would do to show some confidence, you know?
So wait, they did announce that there's like an extended trailer at the Minecraft movie, right?
Okay.
There's that video, you know, if you go to the official Superman account on Twitter, it's got the three of them, and they're saying that, like, so
go see Minecraft.
Go see. You like Jack Black?
I used to like him. I still like him as a person, but I'm getting sick of him being everything. It's really getting annoying.
Okay, you think he's overexposed?
Oh yeah. Just be okay. We get it. You're a nerd, Jack. I liked it. I liked the Jack Black era when he tried to do somewhat serious roles too, like in King Kong. Well, there was comedies like Skull Rock and stuff, and he used to try new things. Now he's just settled in being the wacky nerd. And just like at every we had RGT85 on for an interview, and he ruined it for me. He's like, you do realize he's like in every video game adaptation ever. I'm like, damn it, he is.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. That was the wife. Don't forget it's trash night. All right. Well, thanks for watching. This video went way longer than I was expecting. So if you like this type of conversation, if you want to see me and more of Voltaire on some hot topics, let us know and give us your rating. We'll see you next time.
Good night, everybody.